What?
Dad,
What?
where's the extra toilet paper? So I told you bears poop a lot.
What do you mean?
Bears poop a lot, so they use up extra toilet paper.
Okay, there should be some extra in the barrel.
Alright.
You know, I don't know. This bit about sharing the campsite with the bear and all, sharing the thunderbox. It's not like he snores too loud, but if he's gonna use all your toilet paper, I think maybe we should move back to Crotch Lake for tonight.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think we'll have to. After breakfast, let's get packed up. All right, Pete. So yesterday, our day trip, we went back down to Shirley Lake, portaged across to Ryan, come out in that little back bay there, and then we fished our way down here, caught a couple brook trout, found that portage to Big Red, and came back for lunch on the island site. Then paddled up to the other end of the lake, and back around to the portage coming home. And came back up Shirley. We were back at our campsite by like 3:30, so we had a bit of a nap or something, I think. And then after supper, we paddled around here to see if we could find Uncle Eric and Megan and Lauren and Gail, and came back here. So today, after our incident with the bear and the toilet paper, what we're going to do is we're going to go back down to Shirley. We're going to pack up here. We're going to back down to Shirley, and we're going to find a spot on Crotch Lake to camp for tonight. Hopefully one where we don't have to share the thunderbox with our bear this time, eh? Well, it's about 10 to 10. We're packed up and on the water, leaving our campsite. Heading back towards Crotch Lake. So we're going to head south down Shirley here. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's boiling hot already. Brownie's already reaching over the side for a drink. That's how hot it is. And I'm going to catch more fish than Peter this time. Well, I finally pulled in a lake trout in about 65 feet of water on a silver hammered Williams wobbler. It's not as big as Peter's biggest one, but at least I'm not skunked for Lakers. We could hear this little creek running from out on the lake, so we decided to pull into shore and check it out, see if we could find it. It's really shaded back here, but nice little step waterfall coming down the hill. Well, we're almost back to the south end of Shirley. Just finished telling Peter we're in 80 feet of water when he got something on his line. It doesn't look like a snag, according to Peter. So he's reeling it in. I'm going to reel mine in because we're almost done anyway. And then come back and see what he caught. Alright, my line's reeled in. And Peter now has another lake trout on the line there.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Okay, this one looks a little bit bigger. I'm going to pull her in. Oh, he's fighting a little bit. Let me grab the net and we'll see how big it is. So here's Peter's last lake trout. This one was actually a little bit bigger at 16.5 inches. I'm going to let it go. See if he swims off here. And he's gone back down into the deep, colder water. Well, we're coming up to the portage from Shirley back to Crotch Lake. It's been a good couple days up here. We're going to head down to Crotch and spend a night there, looking for some different fish down there. Like pike, as Peter said. So he's caught his first lake trout and his first brook trout on this trip, which was what I was kind of hoping for, but better than I expected. And now we're going to go see if we can find him his first pike, and I'll also be doing some bass fishing down there. But so far it's been a pretty good adventure. Exploring a couple new lakes, and even if Brownie is going crazy chasing the sand flies right now, we'll get her to shore so she can get away from them.
Down.
Alrighty, it is almost 1 o'clock. We are loaded up at Crotch Lake, ready to head out and find a nice sandy campsite with a beach that we can go for a bit of a swim, because it's really boiling hot today. And all three of us would like to get in the water and get away from the bugs and cool off a bit. Well, it's about 10 to 4 right now. We're at our campsite at the south end of Crotch about 2:30, and we've set up camp and had a snack, and now we're going to go off and explore Shirley Lake and then come back and have dinner. Here we are on Shirley Lake. You can see the hydro lines crossing the lake down a little south of us here. It's a real short piece of narrows between Shirley Lake and Crotch Lake back here. Almost as much of a difference, well, even shorter than between Farm Lake and Crotch Lake, up where the access point office actually is. Even though it's called the Shirley Lake access, it's actually sitting up there between Farm and Crotch Lakes. So we're drifting with the breeze right now. We're gonna throw a couple of rapalas out and see if maybe we can catch a bass or something. Okay, Peter's claiming to have a fish again, but it's pulling the canoe. So I'm thinking that this time he really is snagged.
I did have a bite.
It did fight like a weed to start with, I agree. But I think he's snagged here, so we're gonna go back and free him up. Shirley Lake so far has been averaging about 4 feet deep, and quite shallow, not at all like Shirley or even Crotch where we were earlier today. So we started off this morning up on Shirley and fished our way down here, and I think I caught my fish about here, and then you caught one around about here and just about before the portage, and came across the portage and paddled down along Crotch. And we checked out this campsite over here, but we didn't like it. So then we moved and set up on the last campsite here. After we set up, we took a tour around Shirley Lake and then came back home and back to camp and cooked supper.